A big game in the Big Ten. No bigger place than in the Big House. BTN football is in Ann Arbor today for a top 20 showdown between Northwestern and Michigan. A capacity crowd on hand here on a beautiful day in Ann Arbor. Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines about ready to take the field. And it has a huge game feel in Ann Arbor. And what a ball game. Northwestern and Michigan coming up on BTN. Back in Ann Arbor as we get set for Michigan and Northwestern. No better way to start our day in Ann Arbor than with the Michigan marching band. Definitely a big game feel here in Ann Arbor as we close in on kickoff here on BTN. 13th ranked Northwestern, 18th ranked Michigan at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Kevin Kugler alongside Matt Millen. Time to welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew, Lisa Byington, standing by with the head coach of Northwestern, Pat Fitzgerald.
Kevin, thank you. This is a first-time visit for a majority of your team. How have you prepared them for this kind of atmosphere here this afternoon?
Yeah, well, Lisa, you just try to give as much noise as you can in practice, and it's going to be important we execute early.
One of your young guys is your redshirt freshman quarterback, Clayton Thorson. How do you know that he is capable of handling this stage?
Let's talk postgame. Have a good day. Go Cats.
All right. Kevin?
I'd say he's in game mode here, Matt Millen.
Yeah, let's talk postgame. You got to love that. If that's not a coach's answer, nothing is.
Matt Fitzgerald and Northwestern 5-0. Jim Harbaugh 4-1, coming off that shutout last week at Maryland on BTN. Previous week, the shutout over BYU. They have blanked everybody they've faced the last 2 weeks. Second best scoring defense in the nation. The top scoring defense in the nation, the team on the other sideline, the Northwestern Wildcats. And it'll be a real test today for the quarterbacks of these two teams going against those defenses.
Yeah, that's really going to be the bottom line. And so you heard Coach Fitzgerald say, let's talk after the game. That's an indicator right there. We want to see what this redshirt freshman is going to do on a big stage, in the Big House, at a national television event. I love this. I love to see kids either grow up, or sometimes it's not as grown up as you want them to be.
Northwestern won the toss. They elect to defer, so Michigan will start on offense first. And a chance immediately to see if Jake Rudock is that quarterback that can solve the Northwestern defense.
One of the things that's going to be proven here today and tested is the confidence of each team. Right now, both teams think they're pretty good. Now they have a chance to prove it.
Peppers and Chesson back deep, and we're underway. It's J.U. Chesson from the 5-yard line. Chesson with a hole. Chesson down the sidelines. He's got great speed. J.U. Chesson, the opening kickoff all the way home in the big house.
About to say special teams will play a big part in this game.
Kenny Allen for the extra point. Who needs a quarterback when you have a weapon like Chesson? 96 yards for J.U. Chesson to start the ball game.
When you're a returner, you have to run with your eyes. You know where it's supposed to go, but then this is where it opens. And once he sees the crack, which is down that right side, it's just speed. One man had a shot with an angle, but Chesson outran it. 6 points.
And Jake Rudock says, I'm going to head to the sidelines for a little bit. I'm not coming on the field.
Yeah, nothing better to have a couple points at your back before you even get started. So let's say this. We're going to spot you 7 points. And now we're going to play the football game.
Tough task for Pat Fitzgerald's Wildcats. An uppercut to start. Right to the chin of Northwestern. How will these Cats answer? They've got a pretty good return man in their own right back here in Solomon Vault awaiting the kickoff.
Well, number 4, he's a good little player. You'll see a lot of him through this game.
He had a 98-yarder against Duke. See the numbers on Solomon Vault. It's a lofty average. An already electric atmosphere gets a jolt from J.U. Chesson. And a 7-0 Michigan lead before some folks even settled into their seats. And now Vault from the 4. Vault not going to find the running room for Chesson. He's down just across the 20-yard line. Well, we welcome you officially to the Big House. What a start to this one with Matt Millen. I'm Kevin Kugler, and the electricity in this building. You knew it was a big game walking in today. Now, how does Northwestern answer what they've seen?
Well, go back to what they do well, and that's just play good, solid, fundamental football. For those of you who don't know, Justin Jackson, who you're about to be introduced to, is really a pretty good football player. In fact, he's better than pretty good. They're going to have to rely on him. They're conservative, and they don't want to really put the redshirt freshman in a position to have to win it.
Here's Jackson to start, and Jackson not going to get started. Buried immediately by Royce Jenkins-Stone in for the injured Mario Ojemudia. Now Clayton Thorson is the redshirt freshman quarterback for Northwestern, a team that runs over 70% of the time. They run a little tempo, but they don't put a lot on his shoulders.
Yeah, because they haven't had to. This may be the game where they have to.
Thorson will throw on second down, and it's dropped at the 30-yard line. Jabril Peppers on the coverage of Christian Jones, and it's third down.
Yeah, but that ball is right where it had to be. Peppers is their best defender. But this ball was where it needed to be. It needs to be caught also. I believe Peppers probably got a hand in it, and I couldn't quite see it, but the ball was right on the money where it's going to have to be on this third down.
Third and 10, not where Northwestern wants to be. Pressure coming, Thorson in trouble, and he throws it incomplete. They brought blitz, and Thorson threw it away.
Yeah, they blew protection. Either that or the quarterback did not see it right away. It's coming off the top side of your screen, and he's coming clean. It's not accounted for, and so in the quarterback's head, that has to be on a count. He knows what he has. You're going big on big to the top side. Got to get rid of the ball quicker.
What a start for Michigan. 96-yard kickoff return. A 3-and-out from the defense. And Jabril Peppers awaiting the punt from Hunter Nicewander. Wobbly short punt. Makes a bit of a Northwestern roll and is down at the 41-yard line, but Michigan with excellent field position after the 39-yard punt. And Jake Rudock will make his way out onto the field. The coaches have been telling us for the last several weeks, Jake Rudock is getting better every single week. And one of the ways you can see that is in the interception numbers. He had the 3-interception game to start the season, but 3 over the last 4 games.
And also what's going on is this coaching staff is learning Jake Rudock, and Jake Rudock is learning exactly what they want. And so they still want to kind of control the environment through the coaching staff.
Michigan fans happy to see Davion Smith back as the setback. On first down, Rudock with protection, throws over the middle, and there is Davion Smith with the catch and the 7-yard gain. Jalen Prater on the tackle for Northwestern.
You look at both these teams, you see the similarity in defenses. But what you don't see on this Northwestern defense is a real true pass rusher. While on Michigan, I believe they have 2 kids who can get after it pretty well. Henry and Hurst. Both those guys can get after it. Northwestern doesn't quite have that.
Chesson and Darbo, the 2 receivers for Michigan on 2nd down and 3. Smith, nice little move. Davion Smith into the secondary, and Smith all the way down to the 35 of Northwestern.
Yeah, you had him running clean with an opportunity to make a tackle in the backfield, and Davion Smith just does enough to be able to make a miss. Right there. Was missed in the backfield. They didn't quite catch the number. Instead, you got a first down. Every opportunity in this game has to be taken if you're this Northwestern defense.
Joe Carriage, the fullback now for Michigan. On first down, Smith again with the carry, tripped up as he got to the hole by Drew Smith. Let's take a look at today's Auto Owners Insurance Impact players. We've already seen one with an impact.
Well, Davion Smith having him back is a big deal. He's a big, powerful guy. He's got great runner's patience. On the other side, you have Anthony Walker, who's an emerging player. He still has to learn how to read a little bit better and believe his eyes. But he's got it. He's all over the field.
Believe his eyes. Tell me what you mean by that from a linebacker standpoint.
There are reads that you have, and for young players, they'll see the read, but they don't quite believe it. They want to follow the ball. A young linebacker, believe your reads.
Rudock on 2nd down. Floats it wide open, his butt at the 15, but inside the 5, powering down to the 1.
Nice play call. Nicely done. Going back across the field. You start play action, and then you roll Rudock. And they're going to roll Rudock to the left side of your screen. And Jake Butt comes back to the other side. Normally what happens, young players will follow their eyes, and they'll go with the flow of the quarterback. Butt's wide open. You always got to cover your butt. Don't forget that.
I'll leave that right there.
Thank you very much.
1st and goal at the 1. Derek Green in the backfield. Play action. Rudock going to have to scramble, and he's going to lose yardage. Deontay Gibson, who had a sack and a half a week ago, able to close in on Rudock, and it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Gibson has an ability to be able to close. You want to be able to see him come off the edge a little bit better, but he did a nice job of disengaging and closing in on Rudock to set up this second.
3.5 sacks now for Deontay Gibson, who went off to the sideline. Looked like he was limping ever so slightly as he went off. 2nd and goal at the 2. The fullback gets it in the mess there in the middle of that mass of humanity, trying to work his way down, and he's short, just shy of the goal line.
Yeah, you see the linesman on the top of your screen? Yeah, that official right there, that's the guy. When he sets that, you'll see him. He'll set his foot. Yeah, see, he's on the top. He's right up here. His job is eyeball the whole thing. So he sees it, and he'll put his hand in the air, and he'll determine where the ball is. Of course, he sets up this 3rd and goal.
Carriage and Poggi in the backfield. And on 3rd down, Drake Johnson the carry. Trying to drive in, and he's crossed the plane of the goal line for the touchdown.
Well, they stopped the initial push, and then a whole group of guys smashed it forward. Low man wins. Nice job on the defense. They have him there, stop. But they just keep on pushing, and he's able to push the ball forward. See the head linesman again. His job is to see if it crosses the plane. As soon as he sees it, it's 6.
Seven-play, 59-yard drive. Kenny Allen on for the extra point. And I can't imagine even the most optimistic Michigan fan would have dreamed a start like this against 13th-ranked Northwestern. 14-0 Michigan.
Football on BTN is brought to you by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. By the new Pioneer 1000 side-by-side from Honda. It's real, it's big, it's here. And by Dr. Pepper and college football. It's a one-of-a-kind tradition.
One thing I've learned, when you're on the road with Matt Millen's salad, a staple of the diet when you're away from home. That's what I'm supposed to say for Patricia Millen, correct?
That's what they feed the hogs, don't they?
We welcome you back to the big house. Tough task ahead now for Pat Fitzgerald. Northwestern down 14-0 in a big hole. Not a place they've been a lot this year, and not a place they're very comfortable in.
Yeah, but a great place to see how your team's going to react. What are you made of? This is where you're down by 14. You spotted them 2 scores. Who's going to fight? Who's going to come back and start swinging? That's what I like to see.
Michigan has already outscored 4 of Northwestern's 5 opponents this year in the first 4 minutes and change of this ball game. From the 9-yard line, trying to find a little running room is Marcus McShepard, and McShepard is down near the 25-yard line. Michigan, after the 17-yard return, will bring their defense back out. Northwestern trying to find an offensive rhythm. 3 and out their first series.
Well, a couple of guys in that Michigan defense who nobody talks about. Number 43, Chris Wormley, and 96, Ryan Glasgow on the inside. Those are really the keys to this defense, as they establish a point that the rest of the guys are able to defend off of.
On first down, the option to Jackson. Jackson nowhere to go. Jabril Peppers at the 21-yard line. Drops him for a 4-yard loss as we take a look at our Auto Owners Insurance impact players.
Well, Justin Jackson, the running back, he's very good. He's got his work cut out from here, because Willie Henry's on the other side. Willie Henry, kind of the leader of this pack. They got a couple guys in this defense who can get after it. Henry's one of them. 2nd and 14 in an empty backfield for redshirt freshman Clayton Thorson. Thorson low and incomplete at the 32-yard line. Intended for Austin Carr, and now again 3rd and long for Northwestern. You got to go down and get that ball. I know it wasn't the perfect pass. Doesn't matter. You got to go down and get that ball. You got one hand on it. You could have gotten 2.
What do you do here on 3rd for Northwestern?
You just got to get the first. That's a hot tip.
Jackson in the backfield with Thorson. Pressure coming as Thorson throws. It is caught, and just as Matt Millen prescribed, a first down to the 40-yard line, and Austin Carr. Nicely done by Austin Carr. They went with man coverage. They only rushed 3, so he had time. But the key was that Thorson when he sets his feet, he's pretty accurate. This kid is on the front end of a big career. Last week, he had his best game. He needs to follow it up. Get the jitters out. Now it's time to go. 74% accuracy a week ago as Warren Long's in the backfield now with Thorson. And it's Long who gets the carry. Looking for a little running room, and he found some to the 46, a 6-yard gain on the play. Royce Jenkins Stone and Desmond Morgan there combining for the stop. It's amazing what confidence does, particularly at the lower levels. But you see it in the pro levels as well. When guys start to believe, hey, we can do this, it changes everything. That's why this drive is so important. Reset the play clock here. 2nd down and 4. Thorson again to the air and finds his man over the middle. It's the tight end or the superback, Garrett Dickerson. That's a first down. Smart. Just short passes. You got a whole game to play.
Just take it there. If they're going to sit in his zone like that, just sit right in front of him. He's got time. He's getting rid of the ball. That's exactly what you want to do.
First time today for Northwestern in Michigan territory at the 49. Solomon Volt with a hole. Volt, a little cut back, and he's got the first down to the Michigan 34. Now the run game starting to find a crease or two. Picks up 15.
Yeah, well blocked on the top side. It's not like you're overpowering. This offensive line, a lot like Michigan's, they don't really blow you off the ball, but they're very good assignment-wise. Everybody is on the person they're supposed to be on.
They got Jeff Mogus back this week on that offensive line. He's at left tackle. So the line back and intact now for Northwestern. At the 34. They set up the quick screen. Catch is made, and an excellent open field tackle of Mike McHugh by Jordan Lewis. Tonight on Primetime, our top-ranked triple header continues as fourth-ranked Michigan State visits New Jersey to take on the Scarlet Knights. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern only on BTN and BTN to go.
And Jordan Lewis is really having a great season. He might be the top cover guy on this defense. He gives him a chance all the time. 2nd and 12.
Behind the chains. That's where Michigan wants to keep Northwestern today. Play action. Thorson chased from the backside. He can run, but he'll throw, and it's caught at the 25-yard line and out of bounds.
Great decision by Thorson. Great decision. Nice decision by the coaching staff to get him on the move. And then you bring that receiver back to him. That's a pickup of 10. His feet are down. The catch, there's the feet. That's a good catch. This is 3rd and 2, and critical right here. They've got to get 6, not 3.
This is where they want to be, though. 49% on 3rd down conversions this year. They converted 3rd and long earlier on this drive. Now 3rd and 2 at the 26. Here's Jackson burrowing forward, and he's short. Did not get it. Ryan Glasgow with the stop. Now 4th and 1. You're in good field goal range. Are you going for the 3?
You got to get on the board. The toughest points in every game are the first ones. Take him right here.
So now Jack Mitchell is on. His long this year is 49. 10 for 13 this season. And on 4th and 1, this one officially will be a 42-yard attempt. Good snap. The hold is down. The kick curving, and it's wide left. No good. Moving down the field, but they come up empty. Just the 4th miss this year for Jack Mitchell as Pat Fitzgerald trying to coax it through. Couldn't will it in. Northwestern and Michigan locking horns as 2 top 20 teams for the first time since 1971 to see both ranked here. Pat Fitzgerald and Jim Harbaugh. Intense as players, intense as coaches. In a 14-0 lead for Michigan midway through this first quarter, and after the field goal miss, Davion Smith to the ground on 1st down, and Smith out near the 32-yard line, 7-yard pickup. Jalen Prater on the stop.
That's what they were missing the last couple of weeks with Davion Smith not being in the lineup. So everything's designed to go to the inside, but his vision is very good. And he's a great decision maker on top of it. So as soon as he sees that defensive end crash down inside, instinctively he's out and sets up the 2nd and short.
Yeah, he was really good last year in that 10-9 ugly game. He had 121 yards and a touchdown against the Cats. Here's Drake Johnson on the carry, and Johnson a yard shy of the 1st down. Northwestern and Michigan a 14-0 advantage for the Wolverines. Under 5 minutes remaining in this first half, and through 5 games, 35 points allowed by the Wildcats, 14 points allowed by Northwestern today, although 7 of those coming as a special teams 96-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, and that's not their concern. What their concern right now is 3rd and short. They've got to get him stopped here to get the ball back.
And you've got Davion Smith in the backfield with Carriage in motion. And Carriage gets the carry, and Carriage into the secondary. The fullback rumbling down the field and down inside the 35 and the 32 of Northwestern.
Thought Matthew Harris had a chance to be able to punch that ball out on the left side. This is what fullbacks running in the open field look like. See, everybody's gaining on him. He did actually tried to come over the top instead of punching it from underneath. A lot of time, the easiest way is to punch from underneath instead of pulling down. When you pull down, your arm can kind of clamp on it. When you punch it up, it's tougher to control.
But a 34-yard run for Carriage, but in motion now on first down at the 32. Rudock, good protection, throws it short to Chesson. Chesson breaks the tackle. Chesson jumping in the air and down near the 5. It'll be first and goal, Michigan. Travion Henry saves the touchdown. 27-yard gain.
Is it just me, or is every time we have these top teams playing in a big game, somebody gets a wet leg? And right now, the legs are wet over there at Northwestern.
And Michigan making a claim to be perhaps the best team right now in the Big Ten Conference. They certainly are playing like it in this first quarter. And Rudock's got to take a timeout. Play clock was winding down. He'll talk things over. First and goal, Michigan, when we return. Alongside Matt Millen with Lisa Byington on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Kugler. 14-0 Michigan. Big series here for this Northwestern defense. It's first and goal, Michigan at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and a bigger series also for this Michigan offensive line. So far, they've won, and they're winning through these first few minutes of the first quarter. But this is a long game.
Rudock with time. Nobody open. Throws short to Butt. And Butt's down near the 2-yard line. 3-yard pickup. Second down and goal.
Reason I mentioned that about the offensive line. No pressure whatsoever on Rudock. Now, they have been smart. They've rolled him a couple times. But this offensive line, you can see them right there. Magnuson and Kalis and Braden, 71, and Cole on the other side. And it's a very good group. Glasgow, the center. It's a veteran group. They're playing well together. They're playing better and better each week.
Karan Higdon. Higdon off the fake. It's Rudock to the end zone. Rudock touchdown.
Good play call. People forget about Jake Rudock's feet and how well he runs the football. So you're going to start with the fact, you start with the fake to one side. Rudock makes the first guy miss, and he's able to get in, break the play.
Third rushing touchdown of the year for Rudock. Kenny Allen on for the extra point, and the kick by Allen is good. And what a start for 18th ranked Michigan. 21 first quarter points, and the Wolverines up 3 touchdowns early. Most points Northwestern had allowed in a game this year, 19 in their win over Ball State. In the first quarter, Michigan has put 21 points on the scoreboard.
Let me just say this. This is not the same Michigan team that lost to Utah. This is a better team. You could see them getting better week after week after week. They're gaining confidence. They're playing a better brand of football now.
Solomon Volt awaiting the kickoff from the 9-yard line. Volt looking for a crease. Big return would help Northwestern. He's down at the 30-yard line. BTN's award-winning original series is back. The Journey Big Ten Football 2015 returns Wednesday, October 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern. 21-0. Northwestern runs over 70% of the time. How do you come back against this Michigan team?
Long game. You still have a lot of time. Go with your original game plan. You don't have to change anything. Just execute.
Here's Justin Jackson. A couple little stutter steps to buy some running room, and he gets out to the 33 before Desmond Morgan can make the tackle. That was a very nice little tap dance done by Justin Jackson in the backfield.
Yeah, that Desmond Morgan, actually, I thought last week he played a terrific game against Maryland, as did number 43, Wormley. I think Wormley is an underrated player.
Jackson on the sideline out at the 36. Delano Hill out there to knock him out.
Now, when it comes time for pass rushing, one of the two people they're going to bring in for Michigan is Hurst, 73, and Henry, 69, if they're not already on the field. Their first two steps are outstanding. You got to get your hands on them fast, and you can't let them get going in this pass rush. They're the two interior down people, 69 and 73. Now they move back out to the right side. There's Henry.
3rd and 4. Thorson rolling from pressure. Nobody open, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Vitale at the 42-yard line. Broken up by Joe Bolden, and the punt team will come on for Northwestern.
You have to give your quarterback more of an option than one guy. It can't be a one receiver route. Vitale's not running away from anybody. Joe Bolden was all over him. That was poor design.
Hunter Nicewander to punt. Jabril Peppers awaiting the punt for Michigan. Fair catch called for and made. A flag is down right near the line of scrimmage after the 47-yard punt. No return. But we'll wait and see about the flag. Michigan already starting deep in their own end at the 17 after that punt. See if Ron Snodgrass moves him back.
Holding. Receiving team number 86. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Let's take a little trip in the Wayback Machine all the way back to 2000 when these two teams met. A 54-51 Northwestern win. Michigan had a chance to salt it. The fumble allows Northwestern the chance to come back in a matchup with two pretty good defenses that didn't really play a great defensive game. 105 points scored between the two teams.
Yeah, that was not much defense there at all. And right now, Michigan's holding up their end of the bargain for the defenses, and the offensive line has really kind of controlled this Northwestern front through this first quarter.
Sione Homa in at fullback for the first time. Davion Smith, the running back. Smith gets the carry, and Smith trying to find some room. Look at the power at the end of that run, Matt. Just pushing ahead to 14.
Yeah, let's if you could go back and look at that. That thing looks like it would be getting nothing. You're following your fullback right into the hole. There's nothing there. It's going to be 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 8, and then here comes Smith, and he just keeps on powering, and you pick up another 3 yards. A lot easier to play call 2nd and 5 than it is 2nd or 8 or 9.
Chesson in motion on 2nd down. Rudock, late pressure, throwing, and what a grab by Davion Smith at the 24. Holy cow, what a catch by the running back.
There was a lot of mustard on that. They took away the deep threat. They wanted to take a shot down the field. Rudock didn't have it because the coverage was there, and he's always, here's one of their fail-safes all the time. They'll take somebody and they'll set him right over the ball. You see that number 4 right there? That's Davion Smith. There was a lot of mustard on that thing, and he still came down with it as we end the first quarter.
And what a first quarter it was for the home team. The Michigan Wolverines coming off back-to-back shutouts of BYU and Maryland, continuing their shutout ways and getting a big lift from their offense and special teams in the process. 21-0. Homecoming in Ann Arbor, and not a bad start for the home team. 21-0 through one quarter. Get some alumni cheerleaders back for Michigan. Northwestern cheerleaders trying to spark their team down 3 touchdowns. 1st and 10 for Michigan at their 24. Higdon, the running back. Rudock, the delayed handoff to Higdon, and Higdon's going nowhere. Let's check in downstairs with Lisa Bynes.
Kevin, I've been waiting all game to see some sort of emotion from the Northwestern sideline, and before this defensive series, I got it for the first time, and it came from Travion Henry, who literally gathered up the entire defensive unit and said, this is unacceptable. This is embarrassing. We're not looking at the scoreboard anymore. It's 0-0 from here on out, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get a defensive stand after that emotion coming into this.
Achilles' second down, off play action on the bootleg. Williams on the run, 1st down for A.J. Williams to the 38-yard line. And Travion Henry with the tackle. He lost his helmet,
so he has to come out. Yeah, so Jake Rudock right now has not missed a throw. 6 for 6, very efficient. When it's not there, he dumps it down. You can take a look at this. Michigan just outscoring them 80-0. 140-7 in the last 16 quarters, and they're not even playing their best football. They're continuing to get better.
On 1st down, Derek Green trying to find running room. There's that Northwestern run defense that we've been talking about all week long. It's been hard to run on this team this year, and Green driven back by Anthony Walker among others.
So I think as you look at Coach Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, what they're doing, Michigan's offense is doing, is they're changing it up. And they're spreading things out a little bit, and they're doing it with Rudock's feet, which is very good thinking. And so they're getting him to the edge. They're not always pounding it up the middle. They're taking advantage because right now Northwestern's playing them in a 2-shell. You see that? Now they're dropping down to cover in the middle of the field.
Set up the screen. Davion Smith going high and not finding any room up top or below. Dean Lowry and Jalen Prater combine up and down to bring down the Michigan running back.
Yeah, he's a powerful guy. Davion Smith, he's a big man. He's not a real fast guy, but he's faster than you think he is. He's not going to run away from you, but he can run through you. He does a nice job of running through his path, but he has very good patience. Lets things develop in front of him. This offensive line doesn't really give you a lot of movement, but they have been protecting well Rudock. And here's a 3rd down.
Rudock, good protection again. Nobody open, and it's almost intercepted. Oh, he almost let Northwestern back in with Matthew Harris one hand away from taking it to the house for 6.
That was completely on Rudock. He started to run, he thought twice, and then he didn't set his feet and made the throw. Matthew Harris does a nice job of getting his fingertip on it to knock it away.
First incompletion for Rudock.
Yeah, because if he would have set his feet and made the throw, he would have been okay.
Blake O'Neal to punt. 11 of his 21 punts this year have been down inside the 20-yard line. A line drive over the head of Schuler, and that'll bounce through the end zone for the touchback. O'Neal couldn't get the stop that he got so often last week out at Maryland on that damp field. So Northwestern out of the end zone with the touchback, trailing by 3 touchdowns. The Michigan Union on a perfect Saturday afternoon here in Ann Arbor. 21-0, the home team with the lead. Northwestern starting from their own 20-yard line. 1st down and 10. Clayton Thorson and the Wildcats looking for a little offensive rhythm. Volt on the sweep. Nothing doing. Royce Jenkins Stone. We've called his name quite a bit already, Matt. The man who took over for Mario Ojemudia this afternoon after the Achilles injury last week.
Yeah, so he was getting some playing time, so it's not like it's his first time out there. But he has good confidence. He does a nice job of playing with his hands and is able to hold the point very well. You saw that right there.
His 3rd career start this afternoon. 2nd down and 10 at the 20. 5-man pressure Thorson has it batted down. He caught it. Thorson looking for a block, and he gets a yard or two after the completion to himself. Willie Henry on the deflection.
Good awareness, but he just shows you the last piece. It's going to get batted down right there by Willie Henry. He has the wherewithal to pick it up, and now he's going to take off and run. And that's the piece. That's the next step for him right now. They've got to get his feet involved and have him run a couple times.
Spot him out right at the 20, so no gain.
Especially with all this man coverage. They're playing man again.
And a flag is down. A little movement.
False start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
It's another thing we've not seen a lot of this year from Northwestern, penalties. Just don't commit that many of them.
Yeah, you know, they don't beat themselves. But right now, they have to help themselves. This Michigan defense, here, I'll show you something. Look at this. Here, they're locked up. See, this is all locked up coverage. They're man-to-man. Now they're kicking down. Safety's walking up. He has him right here.
Thorson over the middle. Catch is made. First down in front of Peppers. Austin Carr to the 35, and a little bit of emotion from Austin Carr.
Nicely done by Austin Carr. And so what they did, they knew he had man-to-man. There's nobody in the middle of the field. Austin Carr gets between the ball and the defender. Peppers is on his back hip. That's a well-thrown ball and sets up this first down.
Big conversion for Northwestern. Vault motion out. Thorson going to tuck it and run, and Thorson fights forward for 3 to the 38. Desmond Morgan on the stop.
Good coverage down the field. Nicely protected. There's nowhere to go with the football. Thorson does the right thing. Sets up this 2nd and 7. They want to be able to get to 3rd and manageable. Anywhere from 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 is what they're looking for.
2nd and 7. Thorson again finds an open man. That's Miles Schuler with a first down. Out of bounds at the 47-yard line. A pickup of 9.
Nice job of this offensive line protecting. Thorson, look, they're starting to, now they're kind of settling into what they're doing. So you don't have to get it all back in one throw. Thorson's just taking what they're giving him underneath. That's smart football.
8 of 12 for Thorson for 64 yards. First down at the 47. Jackson trying to get to the corner. Justin Jackson chased out of bounds by Desmond Morgan near midfield.
You know, a week ago, everybody was talking about, you know, their linebackers, and, you know, they're okay. I thought Desmond Morgan a week ago played a terrific football game. And it looks like today he's picking up exactly where he left off a week ago. Runs pretty well. He's very good in the blitz game. He does believe what he sees.
Thorson airing it over the middle, and he could not connect with Garrett Kidd.
Put a flag down. Probably going to be a hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
That's Ian Park, the center, called for the hold.
Yeah, he's a Western Pennsylvania kid, and he's a pretty good one. He has pretty good movement for a center. And he's working against Hurst, who I think is a terrific player. I don't see the hold there. Yeah, I didn't see that one. But I like that Hurst kid, 73. I think he's got it. We had a nice conversation with him yesterday. Real pleasant guy. Let me tell you something. That looks like a 10-pound stuffed into a 5-pound wrapper right there with Ian Park.
Second down and 17. Thorson, the toss to Vault, nowhere to go, and Vault is down. A loss on the play of 3 yards back to the 37. Ben Gideon, the first there for Michigan.
Yeah, if you're going to run this play and you're Thorson, you have to affect the defense. Okay, they're going to snap this ball, and he's going to come down the line. Okay, now watch. There's no one threatening him. All he's done is declared what it is. You cannot do that. You have to be able to get up into the line, force the defense to make a decision. the decision for you and then pitch it if it's there.
Just 27 yards on the ground for Northwestern. And movement up front. It was Willie Henry who came across. Was he drawn?
It's funny, we were talking with Maurice Hurst yesterday, and I said, who's the strongest guy you got? He goes, oh, it's not even close. Willie Henry.
Offside. Defense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
And so the natural follow-up to that is, well, you know, how strong is he? He goes, as strong as he wants to be. whatever you want to put on the bar, he can lift. And I've been around some of those guys who are like that, and they're freaks. And it looks like Willie Henry is one of them.
3rd and 15. Good protection for Thorson. Nobody open. Thorson in trouble, and he's dropped. Willie Henry, strong as he wanted to be again, as he gets to Thorson and brings him down to end the threat.
Good coverage down the field. Nowhere to go with this football. So if you're going to look for the guy who's been moving you around with Carr, good coverage. On the top side, Dickerson trying to get to the inside. Nothing. Nicely done by the Michigan defense.
Nice wander to punt. Jabril Peppers back. Peppers fair catch called for and made just across the 30-yard line. Michigan's defense doing its usual shutout. The offense and the special teams providing the rest. J.U. Chesson started the game on a spark as we take you back to the building of a college football Saturday. J.U. Chesson's kickoff capping that time lapse from start to finish, at least building up to the start of a college football Saturday in Ann Arbor. Jim Harbaugh's squad enjoying a 21-0 lead, and the spark coming from that kickoff to start the game. First opening kickoff for a touchdown since 1992 for Michigan against Houston. From the 32, Higdon on the outside on an excellent open field tackle by Igwebuike.
Yeah, that is fantastic by Igwebuike, because he doesn't get there. This thing's a chance to get to the edge. And he read that perfectly from the field, and you can see him, he's going to run the lane. So you have your corner, Matthew Harris, get to the outside where he needs to go, but there's a blocker on him. The lane's in between. Igwebuike handles it perfectly.
Well, nice little slip by Higdon to get to the 38 as we check in Chicago for a Lexus studio update.
Kev, we finally got a score in the Wisconsin-Nebraska game. This is Joel Stavi to Troy Fumagalli. They're up 7-0 over the Huskers. Remember, whoever loses this game is now 0-2 to start conference play.
Not a spot you want to be in this early in the conference season at 0-2, especially the way in that division that Iowa has jumped out of the gates.
Iowa's playing very good football, and they're finding a way to win.
Not to mention these Wildcats also in that division. They found a way to win all their games so far. And a timeout taken by Michigan before the snap.
Timeout. Michigan. They're second.
21-0 Michigan. A 3rd and 3 for the Wolverines. BTN's award-winning original series is back. The Journey Big Ten Football 2015 returns on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Followed by an all-new Big Ten Elite 2014 Ohio State football Wednesday starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on BTN. Got a chance to preview that Big Ten Elite. You thought you knew everything about that championship team? You didn't. Watch the show to find out more. Rudolph over the middle, and it is caught for a first down at the 48 of Northwestern. A.J. Williams. Another catch for Williams, 14 yards for the first.
Yeah, this is a nice job, but here's the whole key to this thing. Rudolph has lots of time to be able to survey the field. Look at this protection down inside here. There is nothing there. They come with a 4-man protect. They kept 6 in, and he can find Williams just sitting down in the middle of that zone.
Homa and Smith in the backfield. Rudolph off the play fake. Open for the first down to the 35 is Drake Harris. 13 more for Michigan's offense through the air.
They're not quite made a pick, but all they're doing is running a scissors to the top side. It's a simple read for Rudock. He's enjoying the comfort of his pocket again. And all you're going to do is just kind of shield the defender and come back underneath. You can see he's got 120 yards already, but he's only had that one incompletion.
3 receivers top of the screen with Smith in the backfield. And it's Smith who gets the carry, and Smith trying to fight through a tackle, but Tyler Lancaster had a pretty good hold of him and would not let him go.
You know, he said at the start of this game that the quarterback who doesn't mess up, not necessarily who plays well, but who doesn't mess up, will have the decided advantage. Right now, we're getting a quarterback who's playing well. And that's Jake Rudock. He has not, his decision-making has been excellent. They've afforded him lots of time, and he's playing very well.
Higdon, the running back, next to Rudock. Rudock tossing to Chesson, and Chesson hanging on to the towel around his waist to get the tackle at the 35-yard line is Nate Hall. Anything you can grab, huh?
Oh, yeah, I've tackled guys by a lot of different things.
Some of which we cannot mention here.
Some we cannot mention on the air. But Hall did the right thing. You know what's the most important thing in a tackle? That you get him down. No matter how he comes down, he's got to come down. Hall did just that.
Travion Henry's still down on the field after the play for Northwestern. While they tend to him, we'll step aside. Travion Henry explaining how he got hurt to the training staff as he walks off the field. Hopefully he'll be back out there soon.
Yeah, but walking pretty good. You don't really see much change in his gait, and they need him. That's a good football player.
Terrence Brown in for him on 3rd and 9.
Right now, this offensive line and Jake Rudock have owned this down.
Rudock on 3rd down. He was hit as he got rid of that football, and that'll trickle out of bounds. It's incomplete.
That was a Denebo,
yep.
Number 7. Yeah, he can run. He's the one guy. They don't play him a lot. And when he comes in, he's the guy who can beat you with speed. And smartly, they put him to the, you can see him right up top. They put him against Magnuson to the top side, and he just wins with speed. Magnuson got overextended, and he's able to affect the pass by hitting his arm. Well done by Denebo.
And a big stop for Northwestern. So now to punt is O'Neal, trying to pin Northwestern deep. We mentioned he's had a certain proficiency in putting punts inside the 20-yard line this year. Trying to hang it up high towards the sideline, and it'll be down once again inside the 20 and inside the 10. A 27-yard punt down at the 8-yard line by Thomas. So now Northwestern with 4:19 remaining in the half. All 3 timeouts, down 21-0 from the 8-yard line. As we take a look at today's United States Marine Corps leader, it's Northwestern's Austin Carr's had a couple of big plays today. Austin, the 2015 recipient of the Irving Kabiller Memorial Award, given to the Wildcat student athlete who possesses integrity and morality and has a pay-it-back mentality. Jackson on 1st down. Very patient. Gets to the 11-yard line.
They have to get some points. This is the point of the game. You have to sustain something. Your best football you must play right now to take it in to the second half. You'll be getting the ball game to start the second half, but you've got to get points in this last 4 minutes.
2nd and 7 at the 11. Thorson over the middle. Broken tackle. 1st down and more for the superback Garrett Dickerson out to the 26-yard line. 15-yard pickup, but a flag is down.
Thorson, when he has time and he steps and throws, he is really accurate.
His dad Chad spent a little time in the NFL with the New York Giants. One of the better dual threat quarterbacks coming out of high school in Wheaton, Illinois in his senior class.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 80. Half distance to the goal. Repeat hard. 2nd down.
3rd penalty today against Northwestern.
Yeah, remember when I said this team doesn't beat themselves? They didn't hear that today. And you're going to see him. He's right down here in the bottom of your screen. You're always trying to help your guy, and that's a little push. But they're going to call that. Back in the day, we would have said, you got to be kidding me, just push me. Now they're like, hey, he pushed me.
If only we had everybody mic'd so we could hear them say that.
Exactly.
Second down. Thorson. Late pressure comes, throws, and it's almost intercepted by Jabril Peppers. Had it in his hands at the 22.
Should have been picked. Under pressure was Thorson. Wasn't able to step into that. But a nice job. Looked like Glasgow, number 96, affected that throw. And Peppers going to kick himself for that one because he timed it right. Hands are on it. He just didn't get the handle.
Third down and 9 at the 9. Four receivers for Northwestern. Pressure coming. Thorson to the sidelines. Excellent adjustment, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis down the sidelines. Jordan Lewis all the way home for Michigan.
Jordan Lewis continues to show why he's having an All-American season. He has been terrific through these games. They picked on him again. They tried to make the adjustment, but he adjusted quicker, and it's 6 quick on a 36-yard return. There was some pressure on that one by our guy, Maurice Hurst, inside, number 73.
The extra point is good, and Michigan is rolling it home right now. Offense, special teams, and now defense getting into the act. Jordan Lewis with that pressure coming from Maurice Hurst. The interception. The adjustment trying to be made, but it was Lewis who took it away and took it all the way for 6. 28-0 Michigan in this battle of 2 top 20 teams, and Northwestern fans feeling a little, well, not purple anymore. They're just downright blue here in Michigan.
Jordan Lewis was classic coverage. Staying on your hip, knowing he had the burst to be able to cover it, and then coming down with the pick. That was really well done.
Let's go back one more time to this second interception of the year for Lewis.
Yeah, all you young corners out there, I want you to watch on the top side. Once he's going to let him get on top. Now turn, use the sideline as your defender. Now stay right on his hip. Now he looks, I look. And as soon as he looked, if Carr doesn't come down with it immediately, he got his hand in there, and then the ball's his. That was perfectly executed, used the sideline to his advantage. The ball presented itself, and it was 6 quick. He's really playing well.
This whole Michigan team is really playing well right now. From the 25, Justin Jackson. That handoff came in a little high, and Jackson to the 27 picks up 2. Coming up at the halftime, Dave and the gang will get you caught up on a busy Big Ten Saturday. That's coming up on the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report.
You know, Justin Jackson in the last 16 games, the 13 games at like 1,600 yards. The one team that really stoned him was Michigan, running at 35. That was it.
On 17 carries a year ago. Thorson in trouble, using his feet to buy some time. Now throwing into all kinds of traffic, and it's incomplete. Is he better off just turning it upfield, getting yardage there?
Yeah, go ahead and get the yardage that presents itself. Now, what Northwestern right now is going to have to change the launch point for Thorson. He cannot sit in that same spot. You're going to have to move it, because right now this Michigan defense is just mauling them in the pass game. In particular, Henry right down here, 69, and 73, Mo Hurst right in the middle. They're getting after him pretty darn good.
3rd and 8 at the 27. Thorson under pressure again, and he's sacked, and it's Willie Henry. Second time today that Henry has gotten to Thorson, and Michigan will use a timeout to stop the clock with 2:34 to go in the half.
So they showed like it was going to be a three-man rush. They brought an extra backer, ran a stunt to the inside.
Michigan.
And then Henry just does what Henry does.
Michigan with the timeout. Their ball after the punt when we return. 28-0. Michigan with the lead and about to get the ball back. No timeouts remaining after they used the timeout. But a punt coming for Jabril Peppers to return. Hunter Nicewander to punt it away.
That was a good timeout for Jim, though. You want to stop that clock, keep it on your side. 2.5 to go. Awful punt.
Bouncing in midfield, and Michigan's going to have excellent field position at the 45-yard line. Just a 33-yard punt. Well, Matt Millen, this is not exactly how either of us expected this ball game to go. 28-0. Michigan, special teams, defense, and offense. Every face clicking right now.
Yeah, one of the things we said at the start was, they're still in the formative stages, both these teams. Which team was going to really believe that they are what they're supposed to be? I think Michigan has established that they are off on the right foot. They know they're on the right foot, and they're going to continue to take that step.
Rudock on first down. Nice reversal. And Rudock sliding to get the first at the 42-yard line, and the flag in late after the contact.
And Jake Rudock's playing his best game. There's no question. He's in control. He's figured out exactly what they want him to do, and he's doing it. He's not taking unnecessary chances.
Personal foul. Targeting defense. Number 27. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. The play is under review.
You heard the targeting call. Matthew Harris goes in head-to-head with Rudock.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to smack with his head. I think that was incidental. I think he was trying to get the ball. Watch him. As you can see, he's not even going hard. He tried to reach for the ball there. That's, yeah.
The rule says no player shall target and initiate contact against an opponent with the crown of the helmet and to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent with the helmet, forearm, fist, elbow, or shoulder. That's...
Say that again fast.
Yeah, no, fast. That was fast enough. I don't want to have the FCC calling me.
Look, when guys are targeting, you target. When I want to hit somebody in the head with my helmet, I will break his neck. That's what you try to do. He didn't. Now you can't judge intent, but that did not look like he was going in there.
So Rudock slides, giving himself up. The contact does come helmet to helmet, and targeting is the call on the field. If it stands, that means Matthew Harris is done.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case.
You're talking about a guy who's already got 3 interceptions and a touchdown.
He's back on the field, so that's good.
Until they tell him to leave, he's going to stay out there. Continuing to look at this. Michigan on the move once again, looking for more in a 28-0 first half.
It's funny, Dan Deerdorf calls the games for Michigan on the radio, and I had a chance to talk to him before the game, and he goes, Matthew, not the same game we used to play. I got a kick out of that. We start talking about some fun old times, boy.
And we recorded all of that. We'll have it on a sub-channel on BTN Plus at some point. Note, not for kids 18 and under.
After review, the ruling of targeting is reversed.
Yeah,
Number 27 may remain in the game. It is first down, Michigan.
Good job by the officials.
So the rule is reversed as far as a targeting call is concerned.
But Jake Rudock with a very smart and timely run. Gets the first down, stops the clock, and here they go again.
When they look at that, they don't have to assess the penalty anymore. So it is at the 42 where he slid. It is first down. Rudock juggled and incomplete. He was looking for Amara Darbo at the 37. Coverage from Anthony Walker.
Who normally has sure hands. The ball's a little bit behind him, but Darbo usually eats those things up.
You remember his catch a couple of weeks ago against BYU, the one-handed catch.
Yeah.
That was his problem. He was using both hands there. Second down and 10. Northwestern has all 3 of its timeouts left. Rudock to the air, and it is incomplete. Almost able to jump that one and come in and make the play was Van Hoos on J.U. Chesson, and now it's third down and 10, and so now Northwestern starts thinking about maybe we can get the ball back for one last shot.
Which is what they're going to try to do. Now, Van Hoos had a shot at that thing. Chesson at the end comes back to the ball, which is what he needed to do. That could have been a completion. Had Chesson not waited on the ball and attacked the ball, he could have had a catch.
So now third down and 10 at the 42.
They're sitting in a 2-deep zone. The underneath should be open.
Rudock, and it's incomplete. Batted away from Butt. Good play out there for Northwestern.
Yeah, so what they did is they showed cover 2, a 2-deep zone, and instead they went man under 2 deep. So they went man to man. Usually when Rudock sees that, he'll take off and run because the majority of defenders have their backs to him.
Blake O'Neal on to punt, up 28-0. Got a chance to put Northwestern deep again with one of the best in the conference at pinning teams inside the 20-yard line. And O'Neal towards that coffin corner. Didn't get the bounce this time, just sneaks it over the goal line. BTN has you covered all week long as we get you up to speed on all things Big Ten and college football. First at 6 Eastern, join the conversation on BTN Live. Then we cover the entire football landscape on Big Ten football and beyond, weeknights on BTN and BTN to go. On that punt, a late flag down at the 25-yard line.
So if you're Northwestern, you got to erase that goose egg. You have to get some points, something.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the receiving team, number 13. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Northwestern.
So a tough task made tougher here.
That's Warren Long. He's a good player. I don't know what happened, but he got caught. You can see him here. He is right here on the right side of your screen, number 13. Here comes Clark. Gave judo a chop, chop, chop right to the old chops.
Which draws a giant smile on the face of my partner.
I turned off it like that.
Jackson spinning, and he couldn't keep his footing. If he's able to keep his footing after the second stiff arm, he's got some running room to the outside.
Yeah, but he also has a couple of angry guys coming down from the middle of that field. Jabril Peppers was on it. Yeah, this is not a very good show of urgency, and maybe they're saying, you know what, we got to go in and adjust together as a group. But this I'm not a fan of.
Well, they know they're not going to get Michigan stopping, and no timeouts for Michigan. Northwestern appears ready to just get off the field here at Michigan Stadium. 2nd and 7.
If he throws the ball here, this is now it's a flag. That's the end of the time. That was, you know what?
Game.
Here comes that word again. I don't like to use it.
Offense.
Here it comes. You ready?
Penalty.
Pathetic.
Remains second down.
We had it a week ago. It showed up again.
Boy,
that's not good. Now, okay, so you showed that you ran all that time down. So now take a knee. If that's what you're going to do, take a knee. I get it, okay? Live for another down. Instead,
By rule, the penalty includes a 10-second runoff.
Unless they use a timeout to spare that 10-second runoff.
Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds.
Which they do not appear eager to do.
Okay, so they're saying this is not what we expected. Let's go back in. Let's talk about it. Let's regroup. Let's get our plan together. Come out. Okay, now this makes sense. Now you're going to take a knee and be done with it.
Thorson's going to wait until it runs down so that they don't have to do this again. And now he'll take the knee, and Northwestern and Michigan are going to head to their respective locker rooms. And my, oh my, what a half for the home team. Michigan 28, Northwestern nothing, as these two teams head to the locker room. Jim Harbaugh's squad playing unbelievable football right now. They have not allowed a score since September 19 against UNLV. 28-0 Michigan.
Football on BTN is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Find your agent at AutoOwners.com. And by TireRack.com, the official tire and wheel experts of the Big Ten Conference.
Michigan with a 28-0 lead here as we get set to start the second half. Kevin Kugler alongside Matt Millen with Lisa Byington on the field. A 28-0 Michigan lead as we check in with Lisa Byington.
Pat Fitzgerald's message down 28-0 to his team. Kevin and Matt, hey, we got to take this one play at a time. It might sound cliche, he said, but that's the attitude that we have to have. We can't be scoreboard watching at all. His message to his quarterback, Clayton Thorson, he said he's going to have to trust himself. He took the adjustments really well at halftime. He said he was great at halftime, as a matter of fact, and these are learning lessons that this young guy is going to have to fight through.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. Meanwhile, on the Michigan sideline, you got to imagine the message from Jim Harbaugh was, remember what you did in the first half? Keep doing what you did in the first half here in the second half.
Yeah, you know, Jim's going to say, look, you know what we did? Push the pedal harder. Go for the throat. Bury him fast. Defense, keep playing the way you're playing. Offense, we're going to grind it and keep on going. Yeah, I can't stress enough the difference I see in the Michigan team from one year to the next. And that man right there is the whole reason why. He just changed an attitude, which is so hard to do. But they've got it.
Northwestern will get the football. They won the toss and elected to defer. Solomon Volt awaiting the kickoff. Kenneth Allen to boot it away. Volt. Opening kickoff of the first half, returned for a touchdown by J.U. Chesson for Michigan. Volt 2 yards deep, and he's going to take a knee and take the touchback. 28-0 deficit for Northwestern as they start at the 25, and no points allowed for Michigan in the last 159 minutes and 17 seconds. That is over 10 quarters of football action.
That's playing some good beat.
What I'll say.
And so if you're Northwestern, one of the things I believe they must do is change the launch point for this quarterback. They can't keep him sitting in the same spot.
Justin Jackson trying to find running room. Got the corner. Justin Jackson. A little hip shake and a first down to the 40-yard line. Best run of the day for Jackson and for Northwestern as Jared Wilson stops him 15 yards downfield.
Heck, they almost doubled their output in the first half on one run. And they were able to get to the edge on that side. Nicely done over there by Olsen.
On first down, Thorson to throw, four-man pressure. Tough catch made by Mike McHugh. Can't turn it upfield, though, from the 42-yard line. That's because Jordan Lewis was right there.
We talked about Jordan Lewis in the first half. You know, he has the pick and he takes it back for 6. But Jordan Lewis has been playing great football all the time. If you ask him to play zone, he does it well. If you ask him to be a run defender, he does that well. If you ask him to play man-to-man, he's been exceptional. I think he's having a fantastic year.
2nd and 8. Thorson looking for the sideline, and the pass incomplete. Volt was in the area. The intended receiver. There was some pressure on Thorson from Willie Henry once more.
Yeah, there's a shock, Willie. They need to change the launch point. What does that mean? It's just 3rd down. Okay, they're going to bring it. You know it's going to be a pass. So what you're going to do, you can't keep him sitting in one spot. You have to move him. You have to get him off that spot. And I'm talking offensively, you have to get him moved.
3rd down and 8. Late pressure coming. It's picked up. Thorson looking for the sideline. Trying for the one-handed grab is McHugh. But once again, Jordan Lewis right there to help break it up. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, this is he just manned up again. Same thing. He does a very good job. You can see him up here. He does a very good job. See where he's at the top of the numbers? Watch how he forces him to the sideline. That's how you use the sideline as your help. It's an extra defender. You shorten the window that he can throw into. He's just played it masterfully today.
Hunter Nicewander to punt to Jabril Peppers.
I'm waiting for Peppers to break out here on a return, because he's got that in him.
Short punt for Nicewander. Peppers. Whoa, what a tough receive of the punt. Holy cow, as we go to Chicago for a Lexus Studio update.
Kev, you on holy cow, look at what Shannon Brooks just did for Minnesota. This is the freshman running back just bowling over people, spinning away from guys, breaking tackles, and going 71 yards for the score. The Gophers stretch their lead. They're now up 17-6.
Nice little bounce back, Mike, for the Gophers, at least to this point, over Purdue. 71 yards for Brooks. 28-0 here for Jake Rudock in Michigan. Davion Smith on 1st down. Oh, Smith, great vision, great patience, and great power into the Northwestern territory at the 48-yard line. 19 yards for Davion Smith.
You know, some guys, just watch this, just enjoy this. How he runs behind his pads.
See why they were happy to get him back this week.
Yeah, he's a difference maker, and he's not going to break the game wide open, but he's that guy that's dependable, that's going to just keep on gaining yards all the time.
There he is again, upended at the 45, 3-yard gain for Michigan's Davion Smith. 2nd and 7, Prater and Robbins combining on the tackle.
You know, one guy we haven't said his name at all here today is Anthony Walker, the inside linebacker. He's just a sophomore. He's learning. And there's, you know, he does a nice job of getting to the football, but he's going to have to learn how to follow his eye, believe his eyes, and believe his keys. Sometimes he sees the ball and he wants to go after the ball. You've got to believe your keys, and it will take you there.
On the end around, Chesson trying to find some room, got a block, and Chesson nudged out of bounds across the 35, and the late flag is going to tack yardage on at the end. 12 yards on the run, more yardage coming on the penalty.
There is no foul in the play. 1st down.
Yeah, now when you have an opportunity in the open field, you've got to make the play. That looked like it was...
They pick up the flag, as you heard.
That's fine. He's still in bounds. Now he goes out, but... Yeah. That's nothing. I'm good with that. Of course, they never asked me, so what's the difference?
There's a large amount of people at the big house that I think disagree with you on that. On 1st down. A little counter play and not much running room to the outside this time for Higdon.
So let me get that one right. You said there's a bunch of people here in Michigan who disagree with me?
Yes, that's new, I know.
Just generally speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
I thought the disguise you wore to get into the big house today was a very good one.
Yeah, I dressed up like a normal guy.
2nd and 9 at the 32. Davion Smith, the single back. Smith slips through the first tackle and down to the 28-yard line. 4-yard pickup for Smith. He's closing in on 60 yards on just 8 carries today. He's made the most of each touch, but now he's starting to limp off. Remember, it's that right foot or ankle that was causing him a problem a week ago.
Get him out. Just let him go. Let him go, let him rest. You're in fine shape without him. Because really this offensive line has been the story of this game. They have dominated Northwestern's front.
3rd down and 5. Rudock steps up, pocket collapses, and Rudock is going down. Deontay Gibson, who got to Rudock early in the game, finds him again with nobody open downfield, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that was the key. No place to throw down the field. You're going to see Chesson. They're going to try to do a in and out, but look at the coverage. Perfect all over him. Everywhere you look, Butt was covered, Chesson was covered, and then you could only hold on to it for so long before Gibson was able to get there. Hannibal did a nice job, Denebo rather, off the edge, forced it inside.
47-yard attempt for Kenny Allen to add to the lead. Oh, plenty of leg, plenty of accuracy, 3 more points for Michigan. Kenny Allen, good from 47 yards, and Michigan adds 3, 31-0. Michigan dominating this top 20 showdown, the longest field goal of the career for Kenny Allen. What a scene. 31-0 Michigan, and the Wolverines and their fans feeling very good about the start of the Jim Harbaugh era right about now.
That's a good shot for underarm deodorant, I'll tell you right about there. Jim Harbaugh has done a phenomenal job, and he's just getting started. This team needs to be close to where it's going to be.
That's a frightening thought for the rest of the Big Ten. Kickoff through the end zone for the touchback.
So I didn't think just losing eliminated them, but I also thought, having watched that team that night, this is not a championship team.
Urban came home after the game. He goes, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine because we're going to get better. It was not the Urban I usually see after a loss.
This Wednesday, take an unprecedented look at the Ohio State championship season, an all-new Big Ten Elite 2014 Ohio State football, 9:30 Eastern Wednesday, only on BTN. Northwestern down 31-0. Justin Jackson with the carry, and Jackson tripped up from behind at the 27-yard line. Ryan Glasgow was the first guy there. Bolden and Morgan closed the deal.
Glasgow is one of those guys nobody really talks about, but he sets the point of that defense, generally on the nose, but not always. He's a good physical player. He doesn't make a lot of tackles, but he makes a lot of plays. His presence and what he does is just to eat people up in front of him so his linebackers can make some.
Deflected, and it is caught off the deflection by Cameron Dickerson. Dan Vitale was the intended receiver. There was a deflection, and then Dickerson makes the catch, and there's an injured Wildcat at the end of the play. Flag down as well. It's Vitale who's still down on the field. Take a look at the catch one more time. It's Pat Fitzgerald wants to know if he can go out and talk to his player. Get our ruling first before we look at it.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness with targeting. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. The play is under review.
It's Ross, the linebacker.
Second targeting we've had today. The first one was rescinded.
He pulled off on that, but he did go helmet. You know what? That's a tough call.
Yep.
After further review, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 15 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest.
That's a tough one. But those are the rules. That's what they're calling. I would have spent a lot of time on the sidelines, I'll tell you that much.
Means they'll be without him for the first half of the Michigan State game next week as well. Ejected in the second half for targeting.
Yeah, and what they'll say is he had time, and he you know, he ducked and rose on the rise and went helmet under the chin.
So Ross goes over and shakes the hand of Pat Fitzgerald as he leaves the field. That's the end of the day for the senior James Ross.
New rules, different game.
Tally. It's like he's okay on the Northwestern sideline. Crowd back into it now after the ejection. Thorson, late pressure, almost intercepted by Jared Wilson. It's a couple of near interceptions, one from Peppers and that one from Jared Wilson.
Well, he was feeling pressure off his left side. It came unblocked yet again. You're going to see it coming late right there. And that was Bolden, number 35, came with the blitz. The running back couldn't get out there. He had to try to throw it over the underneath coverage, and he threw it high. Wilson had a shot at it.
9:27 to go in the third on second down. Jackson trying to reverse his field. Bolden and Henry are there as we check in Chicago for a Lexus Studio update.
Kev, the Gophers scored again, and they did it by playing America's favorite game. Could I be more wide open? Brandon Lingen, you win, and the Gophers are winning. Now up 24-6 halfway through the third.
Was a time in America where America's favorite game was the Joker's Wild, but we now have a different favorite game according to Mike Hall in our studio in Chicago.
When was it ever Joker's Wild?
I think it was at one point in American history.
Nice try. Willie Henry's played a phenomenal game.
3rd and 13.
Here he comes again.
Thorson running for his life, trying to find some room. Nobody there, throws it away. 4th down. This Michigan defense is playing at an unbelievably high level right now.
Yeah, and they're getting after it with a lot of different ways. Okay, sometimes they come with 4 down. Sometimes their coach is happy. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes they come with a blitz off the edge. They come with blitzes inside. They're varying coverages. They're giving the freshmen a lot to look at, and it's been tough for them.
Another short punt from Nicewander. Jabril Peppers with the fair catch at the 26-yard line. Show me a picture of a coach who's up 31-0 on homecoming.
I'm so happy. I love Jim.
We show you this again just because the internet demands that a GIF be made of this. Jim Harbaugh reaction. This will be in your Twitter feed all week long. The GIF will be made.
Yeah, so here's what I want you to watch. Look at the coaches. Look at all the coaches. They have seen this before. There is no emotion whatsoever. They're like, all right, Jim, knock yourself out.
Play action on 1st down for Rudock. Rudock going to tuck and run, and Rudock not going to get very far. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Anthony Walker and Godwin Igwebuike there to combine on the stop.
You know, a week ago, we were talking, we had this team against Maryland, and we showed you how they have changed the passing game just a little bit. Not how they do it, but what they're giving the quarterback to do. So they basically cut the thing in half and give him half the field reads. Sometimes when you're learning a system, that's the easiest way to do it. It's been effective here for Michigan and Jake Rudock.
Ron Higdon, the lone setback once more. He gets the carry, and Higdon right up the gut to the 29-yard line. Xavier Washington on the tackle. We've seen a lot more Higdon today. One guy we've not seen is Ty Isaac, who had some ball control issues last week at Maryland. He's not been in the running back rotation.
Yeah, he
today.
put it on the ground twice, and that's not going to happen. So until you straighten that thing out and the coaching staff has confidence that you won't do it again, it'll be tough getting him again.
Third down and 6 at the 30-yard line. Rudock, Darbo, fighting, churning, first down. At the 30, 80 picks up 8 on 3rd and 6. Dean Lowry with the tackle.
That's a nice job by Darbo to finish that. As he took the first hit, and he was short of that first down, but because he's got the big, strong body, and he was able to finish through and picked up the first down.
First down and 10 at the 38-yard line from Michigan. 263 total yards for Michigan to 121 for Northwestern. And, of course, a 31-0 score. Good play from the backside as a flag comes flying in. Excellent work in pursuit by Drew Smith, who was able to catch up to Higdon.
Unblocked on the backside, and that's what you do. You just run that thing down. But because the front side held it up a little bit, Smith was able to do it.
Holding. Offense, number 67. Penalties decline. Second down.
Big Kyle Kayla is probably the strongest guy on that offensive line. His dad, of course, played National Football League for a while, and Kyle now playing in the same position. A senior group. They don't make a lot of mistakes. And in my opinion, they've been the difference here in this game. They've controlled that defensive front the entire game.
Second and 13. Rudock back to the air, complete to the 46 to Drake Harris. And Harris a couple yards shy of the first down. Coming up at 11, Dave and the gang will wrap up our triple header with scores and highlights from our Big Ten action on the final drive presented by FanDuel. You know, Michigan looking good here. Michigan State will be on BTN later, taking on Rutgers. And then, of course, those two meet in, I think, what you could call a highly anticipated game around these parts next week. Michigan State and Michigan.
And the good news is Michigan every week has taken a step forward. They have gotten better and better. And Rudock has gotten better and better.
Homa, the fullback, with the carry on 3rd and short, and he gets the first down to the Northwestern 49-yard line. Well, Michigan was looking at this as a game with stakes, a real big test to get the conference season really rolling. Then Michigan State next week, of course, a giant test. At Minnesota in 2 weeks, and then that November schedule, Rutgers, at Indiana, at Penn State, before they wrap up with the traditional closer against the Buckeyes.
That team down south.
That's right. Michigan right now, that one blemish on the mark on the record, the 7-point loss at Utah, which does not look like a bad loss at all right now.
I think it would be a different game if they played right now. In fact, I know it would be. You're just looking at how this team is playing now, the confidence that it has, the way they've settled in with how they're using their quarterback, this offensive line, just how it's been able to take games over. Defensively, they've declared who they are and how they're playing. I think you know, this is a Coach of the Year coaching job right here for Jim Harbaugh. There's a couple other guys who are like that. Here's Isaac back in the game.
First time we've seen Ty Isaac today. 2nd down and 7 at the 46-yard line. Rudock off the play fake, slings it short, and a big hit leveled at the 43-yard line by Van Hoos on Amara Darbo. That's running through the ball carrier.
Yeah, the ball was thrown behind him. Darbo does a nice job of adjusting to this football. See how he has to come back? Really has no power. His feet are parallel. And Van Hoos just runs right through him, which you should do.
For 9 on 3rd down today. Opponents had only been converting 20% on 3rd down against Northwestern this year. 3rd and 4 at the 43. Rudock under pressure, and he's sacked. Back at the 46-yard line, it was Walker who stepped up to get the sack with a little help from Deontay Gibson.
And that right there is what's going to get them. They need to get guys to separate. They have to have guys to separate down the field. Gibson again in on the sack. But Walker, of course, on it also. But until they get guys who can get separation down the field, that's going to be a problem for them.
Miles Schuler back awaiting the O'Neal punt. And the fair catch called for and made once again. O'Neal pinning an opponent inside the 20-yard line. Every aspect of this game going Michigan's way right now, but that defense really doing it. No points allowed, and the clock continues. Now 171 plus minutes since a point. Michigan 31, Northwestern nothing. Waning moments of this third quarter at the Big House in Ann Arbor. Michigan looking for its 3rd straight shutout for the first time since 1980. They had 2 straight in 2000, but then lost 54-51 to Northwestern. Does not appear to be the path this game is taking. Thorson on first down, and it's dropped at the 18-yard line by Johnny Roberts.
Well, as good as this Michigan team is playing, we'll see, and they're going to climb up the charts. I don't know where they'll get to, but if they can match what their wrestling team has done, Flow Wrestling's got them ranked number 4 preseason. We'll see if they can get up that high. They won't get that high this week, that's for sure. But the way they're playing, you never know.
On 2nd and 10, open is Jones, and Christian Jones with the first down at the 25-yard line as we go to Chicago for another Lexus Studio update.
Well, Kevin, Minnesota's going to go for broke, and it works once again to Brandon Lingen. This team is averaging only 15 points a game. They now have 31, except check that. They just had an interception returned for a score. It's now 36-6, pending the extra point.
Minnesota, the final Big Ten team to reach 30 points scored this season. Winning in a big way as some room down the sideline for Roberts until the door closes quickly on a big hit from Jared Wilson.
I want you to watch the path Wilson, number 22, takes. You'll see him coming from the bottom of the screen. Here he comes. Boom. That is really well done. Nice angle. Not easy to do. You're coming from inside out. There's a lot on every step you're adjusting. Wilson adjusted just fine.
Thorson. Vitale with the catch and another big hit, but a first down at the 47-yard line. Jabril Peppers getting into the big hit game, but another first down for Northwestern.
He's fun to watch, Jabril Peppers. Peppers, he lines up in a variety of different positions. He'll line up in the slot, he'll line up as a corner, he'll line up as a safety, in the box, deep.
Blitz up the middle. And the pass juggled and incomplete by McHugh at the 48-yard line. Jordan Lewis has been living with Mike McHugh in this ball game.
Now he's been owning. He has his picture in his back pocket. I don't know if you know. Yeah, I think he does. Now Lewis has played a phenomenal game here. Every time they've tried him, he's been money. Of course, he's also has that 37-yard touchdown, pick 6.
And we've seen a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The pick 6. Great punting dominance from Michigan. Thorson hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Well, that pocket closed quickly on Clayton Thorson.
That's why I mentioned earlier you have to change the launch point. You can't keep them in the same spot. They're just mauling them. That's a good group to maul up front. They are just coming off the ball hard. That's Taco Charlton, 33. I like him. I think he's a pretty good player.
You pointed him out yesterday when we were chatting with Michigan's coaches.
That big man.
3rd and 10 at the 47-yard line. Jackson trying to find running room. None there. Shut down by Desmond Morgan. Talk about a front 4, then those linebackers like Bolden and Morgan that come up and fill. This Michigan team has got a lot of ability at all 3 levels.
Yeah, Morgan and Bolden, they benefit from the guys in front of them. That defensive front, they've been dominating. And when you have guys like that, you're free to just run like that as a linebacker. Oh, that's fun.
Nice wander under some heat. Jabril Peppers calling for the fair catch. He makes it at the 15-yard line. And Michigan going to start after the 38-yard punt deep in their own end. A 31-0 lead for Michigan. 1:09 to go in the third. Big test today appears to be in the midst of being passed with flying colors for Michigan. But now Michigan State looms. You'll see them later tonight against Rutgers here on BTN. But let's peek ahead a little bit to Michigan State and Michigan here next week.
Well, first of all, it's going to be the best defense that Michigan's faced all season. It's a better defense than Northwestern. And so that offensive line will have to bring their A game like they did today. And then secondly, Michigan State has not played their best football. I think Connor Cook has still not played up to his capabilities. So it'll be fun to see if they can get that game going.
Pretty good little step to the left by Rudock to avoid the pressure, but with the catch at the 20-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup on the plays. We slide under a minute to go here in the third.
The thing with Michigan State is they understand big games. They've been there before. They've been in there, a lot of them now. I think Coach D'Antonio has done a fantastic job with that. I think mentally they're right. I think they know how to prepare for big games. I think it's going to be a great game to watch.
2nd and 5 with Derek Green as the running back. Green gets the carry. A hole up the middle, and Green tripped up at the 30-yard line by Matthew Harris, but a first down for Michigan.
Yeah, this is just a job of this Michigan Wolverine offensive line as we got a defender down. But I want you to watch this. Kayla 67 on the inside. It comes right on the other side, 71. Butt does a nice job. That's just assignment football, but well done, utilized angles, and he's up the middle for a big game.
Injured Northwestern player is Matthew Harris. While they tend to him, will step aside from Ann Arbor. Scary scene here in Ann Arbor as Matthew Harris is being tended to right now by the Northwestern training staff. This is what happened. You see on the right side of your screen, Harris comes in to try to bring down Green.
He catches a knee on the side of the head.
Now, the good news is, in a situation like this, you look for any sign of good news with the cart out there. They have rolled him over, trying to make sure that he is okay. They were bringing the cart out and the board to try to get him up, and you see in that lower part of your screen the staff of Michigan and Northwestern all surrounding the junior Matthew Harris, who's had a fine career at Northwestern. Oh, this is a wonderful sight to see.
Now, I can't tell you how far all the medical protocol has come. And they're all over it. They have, the doctors are right there, the trainers are right there. The protocol is down, and when something happens, they swoop in fast. That's good to see.
Had a similar thing happen to him last year at Penn State, and is now up. And when you see the cart come out and that backboard come out and the immobilizers that they use to make sure the head doesn't move, you start to really become concerned. If they were particularly concerned about that, he would not be upright right now and being helped to the cart. So this is a very good sign that while it's an injury and we're likely seeing the end of the day for Matthew Harris, you hope that that is an indication that it's not as serious as first anticipated. Matthew Harris started as a true freshman. One of the first to do it, the first to do it at Northwestern in 7 years when he started a couple of years ago. Didn't miss a start last year and had a huge game last year against Michigan. 8 tackles and an interception. He has 3 picks this year, including the touchdown against Eastern Illinois. So he's obviously a key part of that secondary. They call themselves the Sky Team, and the Sky Team is going to be flying without one of their best for a little while right now in Matthew Harris. And you just hope that Harris, once he gets in, gets the medical care, that he will be okay. So they'll tend to Matthew Harris. You know he's going to get excellent care here in Ann Arbor and, of course, back home at Northwestern. And now back to work with 32 seconds to go in this third quarter for the rest of the guys. Keith Watkins, the second, comes in for Matthew Harris in the secondary. Looks like Michigan is opting not to snap it again before the third quarter comes to an end, and add another quarter to the long list of quarters now that Michigan has not allowed a point. They shut out BYU 31-0 September 26th. They shut out Maryland last week on BTN, and through 3 quarters today, 18th ranked Michigan shutting out 13th ranked Northwestern 31-0. A day that has belonged to the Michigan Wolverines, a top 20 matchup, and one of the two has dominated. Michigan 31, Northwestern nothing as we start the fourth quarter. Kevin Kugler, Matt Millen, Lisa Byington, and on first down it's Green working his way up the middle, and Derek Green takes it to the 36-yard line, a pickup of 6 on the play. And now if you're Michigan, you rely on that strong running game, your bevy of backs that you have out there. And we saw Davion Smith limp off earlier, and he has not been in since after 8 carries and 59 yards. But at this point, we don't need him.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. Just give whoever you have the ball and let them go behind that offensive line. Let them grind on this Northwestern front. Northwestern front was dominated today by the Michigan front.
On second down, Green again. Nothing there this time for Green. And Lisa Byington, you've got an update on Northwestern's Matthew Harris?
Yeah, I do, Kevin. I just spoke to Tori Lindley, who's the head athletic trainer for Northwestern. He said that Matthew had been very responsive. He was talking to him the entire time. Where he is right now, he has not left the premises. He's back in the locker room, actually getting stitches on his face. He got a laceration because of the helmet and the contact that was made, but they're very optimistic about his future in the near future here.
Well, that's great to hear. Initially, that was a scary sight. Third down and 6 at the 34. Rudon under some pressure. Outlet to Williams, is tight end, and Williams lunging towards the 40-yard line. He's got the first down. Now mark it right at the 40, and that's enough to move the chains.
And keep the clock moving, and that's what they want. And so right now, all you're getting, this Michigan crowd is sitting here wanting to see another shutout. They've played this game exactly how they wanted to on their terms. They've dictated the way the game has been played. Now they want to finish it.
And the last time again that Michigan had 3 straight shutouts, 1980. From the 40-yard line, first down. Green, nice patience, little pick to the right, and he picks up nearly 10 more to midfield. Igwebuike trips up Derek Green.
But they're getting through the front end, and that front 7, Green just picks his way through because the offensive line is doing their job. Nice job on the left side of that Michigan offensive line. Talk about Mason Cole, who's the number 52, the left tackle. Ben Braden in there, number 71. Graham Glasgow, the center. Kalis, 67, and Magnuson at 78.
Green again on 2nd and 1. First down to the Northwestern 49. Travion Henry with the tackle of Derek Green. Nobody this year, and you saw the numbers Northwestern's given up on the ground, nobody this year has gone over 200 on the ground or through the air against this Northwestern defense, as C.J. Robbins a little slow to get up. He saw the training staff. He says, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, a little bit of hitch there.
It has not been the day Pat Fitzgerald envisioned when he made his way into the big house earlier today.
No, it started off bad on the opening kickoff. It got a little worse. Now you're down 31-0. So this game is over for him. But you have the rest of the season to play. and still a lot to prove. And so how this team responds to this loss will be the mark of his coaching.
You've got an unbeaten Iowa team looming next week if you're Northwestern. So it doesn't get any easier. First down and 10 at the 49-yard line. They give us to Chesson. A little misdirection, but it didn't fool anybody on the Northwestern defense. Igwebuike there.
Yeah, and he came like a shot. He read that perfectly from the secondary. And he came at a great angle. That's one of the hardest things to do in football. You're playing that safety position and you're coming down. Your angles have got to be right. He took it from an inside-out perspective. He was able to make the play. Well done.
Second down and 16 after the loss of 6. Isaac, the running back. Carriage, the fullback. Rudock off the play fake. Wanted to go deep. Instead, he throws it over the head of Jake Butt, and it'll bring up a third down. Let's take a look at today's Dr. Pepper play of the game. And you may not have seen this. You may not have even turned on BTN yet, because it was the very first play of the game. J.U. Chesson, 96 yards. The opening kickoff to give Michigan the early lead. That's the one-of-a-kind Dr. Pepper play of the game. Talk about providing a spark early. Everybody just finished greeting everybody in their sections here at the big house. How was your week? Oh, it was great. Oh, they're kicking off. Oh, there's a touchdown. Harbinger of things to come for Northwestern. Isaac, a nice little cutback, and Isaac back near the original line of scrimmage at the Northwestern 49. Nate Hall with the tackle.
This is smart, actually, by the Michigan staff. Get Ty Isaac. Hand him the ball, let him get a little confidence back, hold on to the thing, pass the test, because you're going to need him down the line.
Punt team coming on. Blake O'Neill. 5th punt here. Miles Schuler back, hoping for a chance to return. Towards the near sideline and out. O'Neill trying to do his job again, pinning a team inside the 20-yard line, and he does it at the 18. 10:43 to go. 31-0 Michigan. Northwestern and Michigan battling here in Ann Arbor. Is there a better entrance to a field of play in college football than the one at Michigan? That's pretty cool.
That is fun. Nothing like watching an offensive lineman jump up to try to hit that thing. It's the landing that gets him.
Stick the landing, big man. From the 18. And on first down, broken tackle by Roberts off the pass from new quarterback Zach Oliver. Zach Oliver, the senior, on the field for the first time today. Oliver, big senior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 6'4", 230-pounder. First down and 10 from the 30. Oliver in trouble, and he's sacked. Ryan Glasgow providing the sack for that Michigan defense. And look into the booth. Dave Adolph, one of the longtime coaches both in the NFL and in college football.
Yeah, he was our defensive coordinator with the Raiders. Dave is a great football guy. He'll be mad at me for doing this. See how he tried to get out of the picture? He don't want to see it. I'm a huge fan of Dave Adolph. And so is Jim Harbaugh.
2nd and 19, Oliver. Over the middle, and the pass incomplete. He was looking for Christian Jones. So now, the reason we show you Dave Adolph, not just because the defense is playing well, but his last full-time job was defensive coordinator at the University of San Diego when Jim Harbaugh was there. Is there any coach that's more famous for wearing khakis than Jim Harbaugh?
No.
There is not. No one.
How did he get them, however?
How did the khakis become a part of Jim Harbaugh's life? The tie exists between Dave Adolph and Jim Harbaugh. 3rd and 19. That's called a tease, kids. Batted away and incomplete. And to pay off the khaki khaki story. Here's Lisa Byington.
Jim Harbaugh just kind of matter-of-factly told us on Friday, hey, that's the reason why I wear khakis. So I had to go to Dave Adolph before the game, and I said, tell me the story. And he said, well, I saw Harbaugh on the sideline for one of the first few practices. You don't want to see a CEO of a company wearing shorts. I don't want to see the head coach of a college football program wearing shorts. He looked like he was going to the beach. I just wanted to class him up.
Fair catch made at the 34-yard line. One thing that happened when Jim Harbaugh came back to Michigan, 17 khaki dealers opened up in downtown Ann Arbor. 31-0.
Football on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today.
So cool to watch that stadium fill up, and then the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, sending it into a frenzy very early. Most of those folks are still right there where they started. 31-0 Michigan with 9:22 to go. Jake Rudock right where he started as well at quarterback. And a timeout is going to be utilized off the timeout by Northwestern. 9:22 to play in this one.
Timeout. Northwestern.
Jim changed his glasses. Those are a little thicker than I remember.
Timeout.
Let's check in Chicago for a Lexus studio update.
Kevin, things are not looking good for Nebraska. This Alec Ingold score for the Badgers means the Huskers are in danger of falling to 2-4 on the season and 0-2 in conference play. About 9.5 minutes to go.
Oh boy, it was a tense week in Lincoln as is.
Oh yeah.
Wisconsin up with 9.5 to go in Lincoln. 31-0 here. No such concern for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan.
No, he's got them playing well. And they're starting to believe in themselves. And they're not even as good as they're going to be. This is still a team that's ascending.
From the 34, first down, Green. Look at Green dragging tacklers to the 40-yard line. You've got a nice mix at the running back spot at Michigan. Some speed, some power, combinations of both. Derek Green showing the power there.
And Harbaugh's not afraid to use any of them. He throws them in. I mean, Devion Smith is a guy who they can ride. But you can put Green in there. You showed last week, Drake Johnson came in, was a difference maker. They all have success, but the one constant is that group in front of them. That offensive line has been the group that has been able to run the machine.
Got two fullbacks and Ty Isaac in now, and the toss to Isaac fakes the give back to Rudock. He's got Poggi blocking and a first down. A lot going on that play for a simple little run to the left. Joseph Jones on the stop.
Yeah, but they pick up the first down and they just keep on going.
First down and 10 at the 47-yard line. Michigan and Michigan State will play next week. Northwestern will battle Iowa next week. So big games next week as well for both of these teams. Play action for Rudock. Rudock finds his man open. It's Williams, the tight end, and Williams down to the 37-yard line of Northwestern. 16-yard pickup on the play. Next Saturday, the Boilermakers travel to Madison to take on Wisconsin in a West Division battle. Then at 3:30, it's Rutgers visiting the Hoosiers in Bloomington. Pre-game coverage starts at 10:30 Eastern on BTN and BTN to go.
This is a nicely called game for the Michigan Wolverines. They have moved Jake Rudock around. They've changed his launch point many times. They've been able to continue to run the football, but they keep on moving forward.
Higdon trying to fight his way forward to the 35-yard line. It's been a clean game for Michigan, too. No turnovers. Rudock hasn't thrown a pick. There's been no fumbles. Michigan has really played a complete game here this afternoon.
They haven't beaten themselves, not at all.
That's one thing we've noticed with them the last couple of weeks, watching film and watching these games, is the discipline that Jim Harbaugh has instilled in this program. It stands out.
Yeah, there's no question that he's made a difference. I mean, it's shocking, though, how fast he was able to do it. Credit to Jim Harbaugh.
On second down, Green spinning down to the 32-yard line.
He's got a good recruiting class lined up. They're going to be good for a while now. And they're going to get used to watching this Bo Schembechler 2.0 football. As Jim does a good job. I mean, he's doesn't like to talk to the press, doesn't like to say very much. He likes to keep it all in-house with his team. He's still ultra competitive. If you had a chance to go out and play right now, he'd do it. He's got that in him.
You asked him that yesterday. If he was competitive, but he just sort of glared at you and said, yeah.
Of course. What are you doing?
Green, nice little cutback. And Green able to get to the 27-yard line. That should be a Michigan first down. Jared McGee with the tackle.
You know, one of the funniest things he said, we were talking to him about Dave Adolph and the khakis and all that stuff, and he's like, he looked at me straight in the eye, as serious as he could be, and he said, pockets? I got 4 pockets. Workout pants don't have any pockets. Got a kick out of it.
No points in the last 183 minutes for Michigan. 4th and 1, really half a yard. They're 3 for 9 this year on 4th down, and here they go.
And they are grinding.
And the give is to the fullback, Homa, and Homa with plenty for the first down. Sione Homa.
A week ago, we gave him the hardest working player of the game, because they followed him all game long, and he opened holes all game long. Carriage came back this week, healthy. Sione Homa continues to do the same things. Very reliable, very tough, and he's a grinder.
Perfect fit for what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. This drive eating up yardage and time. At the 24, Green. And Green stood up after a pickup of 1. Host of Wildcats there.
Michigan has 190 yards rushing. A variety of different backs, but the same offensive line. So here we are with the 4-minute mark, and that same group that started the game is still playing.
190 yards on the ground, 40 for Northwestern. And when your game is running the football like Northwestern's is, and you only have 40, it's not going to end well. 2nd and 9, Rudock to the air. Quick catch is made at the 15-yard line, and driven back is Maurice Ways. They'll give him progress near the 13, a first down for Michigan.
Maurice Ways usually does it. Usually when you're talking about Maurice Ways, you're saying that's a heck of a block by that kid. He's a tough kid. He's not afraid to stick his face in there, but you're going to hear a lot of his name catching a lot of balls in the future. Nice game turned in by Jake Rudock. And I thought the way they used him was really well done.
17 of 23 for 169 yards. Green on first down. Found a hole and is down to the 9, 4 yards for Derek Green. If you're Northwestern, how much time do you spend with this, and how much time do you use to put it behind you and just move on to Iowa?
We take one good look at it, and then it's out of your mind. You got a team in Iowa that's playing good football, that's undefeated, have an opportunity to be able to knock off an undefeated team, and that's going to be your focus immediately. You got beat here. This is a good football team. Move on.
11th play of this drive right now for Michigan. Home of the motion man. Sione Homa with the carry, and he's down near a first down, just shy at the 4-yard line. Stay tuned for the State Farm post-game report. Dave and the gang will get you caught up on a busy day in the Big Ten. They'll also preview our Michigan State-Rutgers primetime clash here on BTN.
Michigan is closing in on 200 yards rushing.
Nobody's done that this year against Northwestern.
I don't think too many people would have thought that would have happened here today against this defense that was #1 coming in the country.
3rd down and short. Homa and Green. Green the carry. Green fighting for the goal line. Touchdown, Michigan. The cherry on top provided by Derek Green.
just grinded out football. As you see him break the plane, and they go over 200 yards of rushing. This offensive line has played outstanding today.
Allen's extra point is good. How do you close out a football game? 12 plays, 66 yards. Takes 7:08 off the clock.
Hi there, Mike Hall here, reminding you stick around because our busy day on BTN of highly ranked teams is not done yet. The 4th-ranked Spartans of Michigan State will be heading right here to play Rutgers in just a little bit. About 90 minutes from now, you'll see that kickoff here on BTN. Remember, the Spartans not only ranked in the top 4, they've only trailed for 68 seconds all season long. But when this game is done, the State Farm post game is here. We'll have complete highlights and everything from here and across the Big Ten. That's coming up in a bit. For now, back to you, Kevin Matt.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. A 38-0 lead here for Michigan. If it holds, it's the largest margin of victory in the series since Michigan won 59-14 here in Ann Arbor back in 1991. And of course, the shutout still intact as well, which would be the 3rd straight and the first since 1980 for Michigan to go back to back with shutouts. Roberts from the 5. Roberts hit and falls forward to the 22-yard line. So Roberts with the return. And let's take a look at today's Duluth Trading hardest working players. It's that Michigan offensive line.
Absolutely. You can see Eric Cole and Braden, you had Glasgow, you have Kalis, you have Magnuson. They stayed in the whole game, and they played a fantastic game. In fact, they played such a good game. Dan Deerdorf, who's calling the radio play, he's right next to us here in the booth. He pounded on the glass a little while ago and gave us the sign that that's what it's supposed to look like.
I'd say a Hall of Fame offensive lineman is probably pretty happy with what he's seen today. Matt Alviti in at quarterback for the first time for Northwestern, and the pass broken up by DeMonte Thomas. There's Alviti, the sophomore from Park Ridge, Illinois. 2nd and 10 for Northwestern.
They've made some changes here, but there's some familiar faces still out there.
Yeah, there are.
They're big. That is Dan Deerdorf to the left over there, just a little bit more. Oh,
he's hiding right there.
Right there, Big Dan. Hall of Famer.
Alviti back to the air, to the sidelines. It is caught by Cameron Dickerson, and that's a first down for Northwestern.
Okay, so see what they did right there? They changed the launch point. They moved it. That's what they should have been doing a lot sooner. This defensive front got after him pretty darn well here today.
Very consistent pressure throughout most of the day on Thorson. Alviti, there's that pressure again, and he's sacked. Alviti couldn't get away from Taco Charlton as we head downstairs for Lisa Byington.
Impressive that this Michigan defense is doing all this after missing one of their defensive linemen. Mario Ojemudia, of course, done for the year after he tore his Achilles last week against Maryland. Now, I spoke to Greg Madison, who was able to visit Ojemudia this week on Thursday. He had successful surgery. He said that Ojemudia was doing great. He said the best advice for him was to stay patient in terms of the recovery process. As of note, Michigan actually is looking into maybe petitioning for an extra year for Ojemudia, Kevin.
Well, they'd love to see him. Jim Harbaugh told us he's got a future playing football somewhere, whether it's here next year or at the next level as Jabril Peppers makes the stop. And you mentioned it earlier, a lot of familiar names. We saw Hurst out there. We saw Henry out there. Jabril Peppers with the tackle. This defense wants that 3rd straight shutout.
There's no question.
Those first-teamers are out there saying, no, we're not leaving.
And 100,000 wanted to see the same thing. They didn't leave either. Much to your chagrin, you wanted to catch your flight a little sooner, I understand.
We're watching history here. Are you kidding? 3 straight shutouts for the first time since 1980. If they can hold them off the board over the final 35 seconds, a flag is down. That'll be a hold. Alviti will throw that to the sidelines. But the hold is going to be called. Looked like Eric Olson may have had Taco Charlton in some sort of takedown.
They'll decline. This will be 4th down. The cheer. Listen to the cheer.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Listen to this. Now you know when they cheer for when you hear the call for defense, that's a well-schooled crowd.
Says the defensive guy. 4th down. Alviti going to scramble. He needs 17 yards. He's not going to get anywhere close. One more play for that Michigan defense to cap its 3rd straight shutout for the first time since Ronald Reagan won a presidential election. Michigan with 3 straight zeros pitched.
That's impressive. That's a good group. That defensive front, Greg Madison's done a great job with rolling through those defenders. They have a lot of guys, none of them that you say, wow, but a lot of them that you say, hey, they're pretty good.
And here's Jabril Peppers. He comes in when they take the knee. Don't be surprised if at some point this year he's out there on offense for more than just a knee.
Well, they put Jabril Peppers back there just in case.
And there's the knee taken by Rudock. And the celebration has begun and will continue for a good portion of the night. And then that man will turn the focus to Michigan State. What a performance today by the Michigan Wolverines. Dominating from start to finish in a 38-0 shellacking of Northwestern. What a day for Michigan and its fans, and for Northwestern. Plenty of season left. Everything is still out there in a wide-open West Division, and they've got Iowa next week, which becomes a giant game in the West. Unbeaten Iowa, once beaten Northwestern.
They better get ready because it's right around the corner.
Let's check in downstairs with Lisa Byington.
Kevin, I feel like a broken record when I talk to defensive coordinator DJ Durkin. You continue to shut out teams, so 3 straight shutouts now. How does this defense continue to do what it's doing?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of the kids. They played hard for 60 minutes again. You know, the shutouts are really a team stat. I mean, our special teams are playing great. Our offense is doing a great job of protecting the ball and having long drives. I mean, they kept us off the field, and it's a team stat, so I'm proud of them.
You're building momentum at just the right time. You now have your rival, Michigan State, on the horizon. What kind of defense and what kind of team do you feel like you have going into the Spartans next week?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We want to just enjoy this one today, and we'll get on to that next. You know, I'm just proud of our kids, man, to keep coming out and playing hard like that. We talk about effort and playing with technique, and they're doing that, and that's all that matters right now.
Thank you for the time. Kevin?
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. You know they want to enjoy it, but I have a feeling this coaching staff doesn't enjoy things for too long before they start looking to the next step.
Yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, you can't. So right around the corner is a huge game, a monster.
Well, that number 18 next to Michigan that you see on your screen,
it's going to change.
It's going to change, and it's going to be much higher up in the top 25 rankings. 38-0 Michigan. We'll have more from Ann Arbor in a moment on BTN. First FBS team to record 3 straight shutouts since 1995. First Michigan team to do it since 1980. Any way you look at it, a complete and total performance today by the Michigan Wolverines, who win it 38-0 over Northwestern at Michigan Stadium. Coming up, it's the State Farm postgame report as Dave and the gang will get you caught up with scores and highlights from around the Big Ten. An opening kickoff return for a touchdown set the tone. Michigan wins it 38-0. For Matt Millen and Lisa Byington, I'm Kevin Kugler saying so long from Ann Arbor.
Welcome in the State Farm postgame. Great to have you with us. Dave Revson, Jerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith. Wow. I mean, you want to talk about a complete performance, special teams touchdown, defensive touchdown, shutout, offense, running the ball beautifully. That's pretty impressive.
You know, Jim Harbaugh takes over a really good defense and they get better, but the progress that offense has made, especially Jake Rudock, is incredible.
Yeah, no question. We didn't see this coming. At least I didn't. You thought that Northwestern's defense was going to be able to step up and play much better in this game and offensively maybe be able to move the ball a little bit, but you thought maybe they'd try to throw it more, but they really had no answer for anything that Michigan was getting done today.
But I still think Northwestern isn't that far from what we thought they were going into the game. This was just a really athletic defensive front of Michigan that didn't allow Northwestern to win the games the way they've been winning it in the past, part of the season. But they still have a good formula to win a lot of the rest of their games. This Michigan team is underrated.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, well, they're going to skyrocket in the rankings, as we talked about. Right. No, Northwestern's not constructed to come from behind and not constructed to win a high-scoring game. Kind of got away from them early. They are still 5-1. But obviously, the story of this day, the Michigan Wolverines, they were flat out phenomenal. Let's check out the highlights in this one. This was the best moment of Pat Fitzgerald's day. Really. I mean,
it was true.
I think he would say that's true.
I would agree. He probably would.
The opening kickoff. This is the first time Michigan has run an opening kickoff of a game back for a touchdown since 1992. J.U. Chesson sets the tone. 96 yards. It's 7-0. That's how many points Northwestern was giving up per game coming in. They had given it up less than 20 seconds into this one. Jake Rudock, Jake Butt, 32 yards. Drake Johnson would punch it in from there. Rudock, 17 of 23, 179 yards. Later in the first quarter, it is Rudock taking it himself, 21-0 Wolverines. Then on a 3rd and 9, Clayton Thorson throwing it up, and Jordan Lewis coming away with it. 37 yards later, he's in the end zone, 28-0 in favor of the Wolverines. Long day for Thorson, who was 13 of 27. And then Thorson here to Dan Vitale, who is hit hard by James Ross, was actually ejected for targeting. So remember, they will not have him in the first half of that game against Michigan State. That is potential storyline for that one. Ross does go over and shake the hand of Pat Fitzgerald. Later in the fourth quarter, in a 31-0 game, Derek Green bulls his way into the end zone, 38-0. The final score in this one, and the Michigan fans have plenty to cheer about on homecoming as they win their second straight game against a ranked opponent, second straight ranked opponent they have shut out. Remember, BYU was ranked again. 2 wins against ranked foes. First time they've done that since 2005. Their 5th straight win against Northwestern, 10th in their last 11 meetings. One of the stars of the Michigan defense, Desmond Morgan, afterwards with Lisa Byington.
What impressed you most about the performance here today?
Just continual nonstop throughout the entire game. You know, years past, or sometimes, you know, you get a team that lets off the pedal going into halftime with the lead we did, but the guys were persistent throughout, and they just fought the entire game.
What has been the switch that especially Coach Harbaugh and this coaching staff has done to build momentum since week 1 and that week 1 loss to Utah?
Yeah, after that, you know, we kind of rallied in a lot of ways. We got back to basics with some of our fundamentals, stuff like that, especially defensively. And from that on, we've just building off each other. The offense is playing well, getting the ball rolling, and defensively we're trying to do the same.
Why has this defense been so good?
We're playing together. We're playing as a family. There's no question. I mean, guys on the same page with stuff. Guys are fighting for each other. We had Mario Ojemudia go down last week. We had James Roski kicked out of the game this week with a penalty. And, you know, it's just fighting for one another, being able to put that goose egg up on the board again.
Do you guys have a dialogue about shutouts at this point?
Well, I mean, we acknowledge them afterwards, but then after it's done, you know, it's on to the next week and prepare the best we can.
All right. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We heard the guys talking in the game, 3 straight shutouts. First time Michigan's done that since 1980. It's the first time any Big Ten team has done it since 1980. As you looked at this performance, what stood out to you about the Michigan D?
You know, the predicted matchup that favored Michigan was their defense against the Northwestern offense, and it played out that way. Not only is Michigan very talented on defense, as you can see in the video, they're so fundamentally sound. They always have pursuit angles that are correct. They always keep the ball inside and front. This is a simple decide play by Northwestern. Here's a perimeter play. Again, watch Jabril Peppers. He goes inside the blocker, maintaining leverage on the ball. That's difficult to do. And again, now Clayton keeps the ball here too long. He's a young quarterback. He needs just to throw it out of bounds. And then this is, you know, I don't think this ball's thrown all that poorly. Howard, it's a great play by the defender. It's not timed up perfectly. The receiver wasn't wide open, but that wasn't a bad play for Clayton. I thought the first one where he gets sacked, he held on the ball too long. But this Michigan defense, athletic, but so fundamentally sound.
Right, and aggressive at the point of attack. And it's one thing to be athletic, to be able to make moves, but they're not undisciplined as athletes to try to run out of the hole. They're playing their technique, as you mentioned, Coach. I think the other side of the ball, when you look at the way they're playing offensively, Michigan is playing with a lot of control of the offensive line. They're running the ball well, which is a big part of what they need to do to help Rudock throw the ball vertically down the field. You look at the numbers of what they've been able to do, and I just think they continue to play at a very high level.
You look at the numbers for Northwestern. I mean, let's not understate the accomplishment of Michigan's offense, right? That's 35 points Northwestern had given up total in its first 5 games. Michigan scores 38 in this one. Now, again, there was a special teams touchdown. There was a defensive touchdown. So it distorts it a little bit. But I think lost in all of the talk of how good Michigan's defense is that offense is getting better and better and was completely in control of this game today.
And I think that's where most of the growth of Michigan has been. And I think Jim Harbaugh now knows his personnel. I'm not sure he knew his personnel at Utah. And Howard, you referenced this a lot when they lost to the Utah game, when Jake Rudock throws that pick and the camera goes to Jim putting his arm around Rudock. I mean, that could have been a defining moment how Jim Harbaugh was going to handle this Jake Rudock situation. And it's really turned out, obviously, the right way.
You know, I go back to the piece you did earlier this morning when you had an opportunity to sit down at Ohio State. And one of the things that came out of it, you talk about following leaders, right? You have to be a leader first before you can implement your plan, before they follow the plan. Young people and people in general will follow the person that they can identify with, that they recognize as a leader. When you look at Jim Harbaugh, that's exactly what he is, and he leads. And these guys have bought into it, and it happens so quickly, at least a lot quicker than we've seen it happen at other places. Part of that is they still had good players, but I also think part of that is the coaching staff that's in place at Michigan.
Well, he benefited from some very good recruiting classes, no doubt about it, but he has got those players playing at an absolute elite level. And again, that's where the credit goes. I mean, to say they are rolling heading into their game against Michigan State would be an understatement. How about this, guys? Last 19 quarters, Michigan has outscored its opponents 160-7. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that can win you some football games.
That can. It's won them a lot. We're going to hear from Jim Harbaugh, his news conference. We will bring it to you here on BTN when he steps to the podium. Plenty more on this game coming up as we continue to break down a fabulous performance by the Wolverines. And how about the Hawkeyes, guys? The Hawkeyes are bowl eligible.
Already?
Already. Ooh. 6-0 Iowa.
Must be good.
They are good. We'll talk about it as we continue.
Football postgame on BTN is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.